Hi, I'm Des Kennedy, and I have with me today a really guy that I've known for quite some time, and his name is Jared Case. And Jared, welcome.
Pleasure.
Really great to be here. And Jared I got to know Jared as a worship leader, and he's involved in evangelism, involved in lots of great God stuff, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, that's good.
So Jared, you've got involved in this Breaking Chains 2025 conference, and you've wanted to be involved. What is it about this conference that has appealed to you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I run a ministry called Random Act of Worship, and our ministry exists to turn around and help remove the roadblocks from ministries getting off the ground and enabling the gathering of believers. And I meet a lot of people, and I hear a lot of talk, and sadly you get a lot of high octane. I want to do something, but there's not a lot of substance to it. And I had the privilege of meeting with Ray. And when I met with him, he shared his vision and his heart for it. And I tried to shoot holes in his everything he's saying over lunch for about an hour. And he did really well. And I thought, you know what, so the second part of this is breaking chains means something to me personally.
Right.
I've lived in chains. I've lived
Right.
in addiction. I've lived with the struggles of men, and I just believe in freedom. And so Ray's heart, his vision, it just spoke to me. And from that, we had a board meeting, and our board got on board and decided we would back Breaking Chains 2025.
That's fantastic. So what do you think is special about this conference? What is it that people should say, wow, I need to be there. I need to be part of this. I need to be involved?
Yeah, I think the big thing here is that there's a big lie that my struggles I will always have. I'm just a man.
Yeah.
My struggles with sin I will always have. My struggles with pornography, my struggles with lust, my struggles with alcohol or drugs, I'll always have. It's just this lie. And I think, for he who is free indeed. And I just believe that we're called to be free. We're not called to be slaves. We're called to be men of valor and formidable men in the kingdom. And we need men right now to be coming together. We need men to be linking arms, as Ray has said. He saw a vision of men linking, and it's the brotherly connection to connect together, to build that bond and relationship, and then to walk out in freedom and to walk in freedom. It's not a single event, it's a daily activity where we see these men bond and build, and we're going to see this start. Now, it might not be, tens of thousands of people year one, but if we continue to do this and we're speaking forth the vision of you can be free, right? And you can turn around and live in purity and set aside, consecrated. Man, I'm excited. I just think it's so good. It's nothing better when you see someone that's been released from being underneath a rock.
Yes.
Right? There's nothing better than when you see someone that's been in chains and the chains are released off them.
Yeah.
And we see it happen. We see it in our ministry. We see it happen all the time. And Australia needs change. Australia needs Jesus.
Yes. And that's the big answer, of course. Absolutely right.
100%.
So if you were a man and you weren't involved with church, or you weren't involved in anything to do with Christianity, but you heard about Breaking Chains 2025, what is it about that would draw you to come to that conference?
Yeah. First thing I'd say is there's no condemnation in Christ. If you're right now, if you're sitting there and you're watching this video and you're struggling, you know it, because it's the skeleton in the closet that nobody else knows, right?
Yeah.
If you're sitting there and you're struggling and you have not conquered this, you've tried everything, mate, what do you have to lose than trying Jesus? Like, what do you have to lose than just coming together with other men that have the same interest to turn around and be free, right? The same interest to turn around and live a life of just, we just want to live as honorable men with our wives, be fathers, right? That our children will look up to and just say, man, I'm proud of my dad.
Yeah.
And you know what? I just think that if you're that and you are an Aussie bloke that's just, we just hard done by. You know, Aussies, it's like, we're the Aussie battlers. It's like, no, it doesn't have to be that. You can be free.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if that's it, you need to come. You should be here.
That's fantastic. Yeah. We're talking about Breaking Chains 2025 conference at Convention Centre. That's on Logan Centre on the 19th and 20th of September. So go on to the website, search for Breaking Chains 2025, register for a friend. It's a great idea. You've probably got a close friend.
Go buy him a
ticket. Bring along.
Buy a friend a ticket.
Buy a friend a ticket, exactly. And so we look forward to seeing you there at the Logan Centre, 19th to 20th of September. And we ensure you'll have a... Hi, I'm Des Kennedy, and I'm with Steve Schiller today. And Steve has been involved in the organisation of the Breaking Chains 2025 Convention for Men. And so I want to talk to Steve about, having been involved in this conference and having been involved and loving men and men's world. How do you see this convention? What's important to you in this convention?
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real is good.
Keeping it real. A lot of the time we're presented with this sort of perfect life thing in Christianity, and I just want to say it's this fake ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lineup of speakers and the people coming in have got a diversity that's just phenomenal, and they walk with a limp in the hand of God.
That's a good phrase. Actually, tell us about some of the speakers. I mean, we've got a whole swag of speakers, who have got range of skills and range of experience. Can you talk about some of them?
Well, Saturday I spoke at a meeting which was called Restore House, and it's ex-prisoners and people out of that gravelly area of life. And when they heard Ron Hutchinson was speaking, the place nearly exploded. They were so excited. So Ron's got a background into helping people, addicts and people in crime, and putting one foot in front of the other where it matters, where Jesus would have walked, where the church often won't step.
Yeah, and men need that sort of reality, don't they? Men need to be able to identify with people who have gone through similar sort of issues. Because if they see people who have just led a perfect life, what value do they bring to the equation, they would say?
It separates you.
Yeah, that's right.
You feel like you're lost, you'll never be able to climb the mountain. Yeah. But these are people that can pull you up, walk side by side with you. When Ray talks about seeing men arm in arm, worshipping God, I see that with men being there to support one another in reality.
And I think that's so important for this convention, men alongside men. And there's something special about men worshipping with other men, and men praising God with other men, and men talking about the core stuff in their life with other men, things that they wouldn't talk about with their families, they wouldn't talk about in the general world. But when they get alongside a buddy and they're maybe sitting having a feed together, or they're listening to some guy talking about the world, they can relate, and it'll change their life. So just before we came on air, we were talking about some of the speakers, and you mentioned that Dr. Fayed. Tell us about that person.
Okay, well, this is an unusual situation. We've got a female speaker at a men's conference.
Right.
We don't have ladies coming to the conference. We want them to support us. We want the ladies to be behind us. We want them praying for us, because we are not to live alone. We're not to be separate.
Yes.
But we have this female speaker, and it might sound really strange, but she's got an incredible ministry, probably the best in the country, into sexual trauma, betrayal, pornography addiction. And I think we need that breakthrough. Men in Australia need that breakthrough. Men worldwide need that breakthrough. So we don't... Sorry, Nick.
Sorry, I was going to say, somebody told me that 70% of men in a church environment suffer or have suffered from pornography addiction. So it's a huge, huge issue that we all have to deal with.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And we want men to be there, and not sitting 3 seats up from their mother-in-law, and he's thinking, she's thinking, he's thinking, she's thinking. We want men to be able to undo, get real, and get healed before Jesus.
So what message would you give to men who are thinking about this conference, this convention, Breaking Chains 2025? What advice would you give to those men?
Open your heart, turn up, because you're going to have exposure to things that you won't find from the pulpit.
Yeah, that's
You're going to meet real people dealing with real issues. Experienced members of the the Christian church, of a ministry who are down to earth with things.
Yeah.
So Dr. Alan May have been in ministry for many years, men's ministry, phenomenal ministry. Jeff Bullock, once a household name in Christian music in Australia and New Zealand, and now having gone through an incredible journey, finding himself really in the arms of God and being able to relate that to people like never before.
That's great. Just one final question. I mean, there'll be lots of men who look and see this video and maybe don't have a faith, or never been at church since they were confirmed, maybe, or even ever been at church. What would you say to those sort of men who maybe think they're living a okay life, but need something more? What would you say to those men?
I would say that church can sometimes not represent Jesus the way that he really wants to be represented. I said to a guy one day, he was riddled with cancer, and I said, "Can I ask you a personal question? Do you ever pray?" And he said, "Well, sometimes I go outside and stare at the stars."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, you're not stupid, mate. You know there's something out there, and I know who he is.
Yeah.
Can I pray for you?"
Fantastic.
And people just open their hearts because they're looking for a real God. They're looking for reality.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're not presented with as much reality as we need.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this conference because it's going to be where the rubber hits the road.
Yeah.
I think I may have landed myself in the planning of it by making a comment one night. I said we need a hot rod motorcycle show and shine because we're not all spiritual. We have testosterone and octane mixed into our being,
Yes, that's right.
And we're blokes, and we need to minister to the whole man and have a lot of fun and undo ourselves.
Exactly. So we're talking about the Breaking Chains 2025 Convention Men's Conference, and it's on the 19th to the 20th of September at the Logan Centre. So sign up, come along and join in and experience this convention. It'll be well worth your while. Hi, I'm Des Kennedy, and I'm here today with a guy called Ray Farmer. And Ray is the visionary behind Breaking Chains 2025 Men's Convention, which is coming up on the 19th and 20th of September at the Logan Centre in Brisbane. So Ray, tell us what your vision is for this convention.
Well, this vision started back in 2019. We come together about wanting to bring men together and be accountable for each other and develop that friendship and with the walk with Jesus, and to do it together, not to do it alone. So I started developing a lot of men's groups. I've got 3 I'm involved now. Then I got this vision one night of it was an orange glow of all these men together, locking arms together, and they were looking to the Lord and crying. And then it came to me, convention. Wow. An area where they can go and walk with Jesus, find freedom and all that. So I developed from that and just put that on social media where I got, and that's where you contacted me, and we went from there and just opened up one door after the other.
And the rest is history, so to speak, or the future, in fact.
Yes, it is.
So Breaking Chains 2025 convention, I mean, there's lots of men's conferences around. So what makes this conference different? What's so special? Why should men want to come to this conference?
Well, the way I look at it, Des, is that it's never been done to this magnitude. I've heard of some doing where they've never come back and done it again. Yeah. So I've developed this so it's got everything a man wants to look for, everything that they want to come back to. They want to feel the presence of the Lord, and the speakers speak the word to them, what they want to hear. And then they can go home to their family, the churches, help other men, what they learn from here, and just grow from that.
I mean, that's great. And the camaraderie between men
Yes.
at a conference like that is so significant as well, isn't it?
Yes.
That's really so important. Now, obviously, the term Breaking Chains 2025 is significant. You know, it tells a story in itself.
Yes, that's right.
So tell us what men can experience as part of Breaking Chains 2025. How will their lives be changed?
Well, what I have seen and have heard and looked around with my connection with men is that they will get there and they'll feel the breaking of chains. It'll be their beginning. They've got to remember it's not the end, it's the beginning. They're going to learn different things to walk as a man, as a husband, walk as a father,
That's great.
and go home to their family, to their wives, to the churches, and just talk about this and make men grow within themselves in their groups.
That's so good. Yeah. So tell me, if somebody is listening to this on YouTube or wherever, and they're pondering whether they should come to Breaking Chains 2025, what would you say to those men?
I'd say to them, just look where your life's heading. What are you missing? What do you need?
Yeah.
Then find the breaking chains to see what's there. Start to feel like, how can I get to this? What will it do for me? And you'll find that you're going to find the answers. Breaking Chains 2025 is significant in that first 2 words, breaking chains. What does it do? It helps you find freedom.
Yes.
Yeah, and to walk, and the one thing you got to remember that it is only to do this, to find freedom, is walking with Jesus. So.
And that's fantastic. That goes above everything. And so if men want to reach out and want to get connected and want to sign up for this conference, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to do that is to go to Google, find Breaking Chains 2025, follow the links on it. And they'll lead you to register for your ticket, register for your, if you want to get a ticket and donation. I just bring in that I've got this thing I'm telling men, instead of going to Breaking Chains 2025 and get a ticket and a donation, why not buy a ticket for another man that needs to be there?
Wow, that's a great piece of advice.
Yeah, I reckon that should be. And plus you got a special package for if you want to meet one of the speakers, and there's a little package with to go with it. So that's the go. But you also got Facebook.
Yeah.
Do the same thing. Breaking Chains 2025. You'll find there's a link. And you just follow the links, and it's just self-explanatory, and just register your name and all that.
So I think that's really fantastic. And so guys, if you're watching this video and you're in Brisbane or can get to Brisbane, please look for those links. Go and register for the conference. It's on 19th to the 20th of September this year, and it's on the Logan Centre in Brisbane. So we look forward to you being there.